Good morning and welcome to Newswatch Today. I'm Cameron Lee.
And I'm Lilia Parks. Elementary schools are canceling Halloween.
And a deeper look into the attacks on Israel.
Aubrey Jackson is here with your forecast, and Preston Rosenberg has the latest in sports news. This is Newswatch Today.
Thanks for joining us this morning. Right now we have our weather anchor to give us a first look at the weather.
Yeah, we got a taste of cooler weather this past week. Is there more to come?
Thanks, Cameron. Thanks, Delia. We can definitely see this fall weather coming in. For today, we have current conditions of 57 and sunny, and the humidity is down from last week to 81%, though the winds are up a little bit. So it's going to be a little bit windy today and tomorrow, but be prepared for that fall weather to come in, and it's back to you guys.
Thanks, Aubrey. I am certainly really looking forward to that fall weather she says is coming.
I know, it feels like every day is getting cooler and cooler, and I really just can't wait for it to get cold.
I agree. Israeli aircraft pounded the Gaza Strip on Wednesday, leveling apartment blocks and sending injured people pouring into the Palestinian hospitals, as the local health ministry warned that fuel to keep generators going is running out. The Washington Post said at least 1,100 Palestinians and 1,200 Israelis have been killed since Hamas militants attacked Israeli communities near the Gaza Strip on Saturday. The attack led to one of the bloodiest days in its 75-year history. Gaza is home to more than 2 million people, all packed into a place less than half the size of New York City, with zero safe passages as bombs rained down. The Gaza Health Ministry said at least 5,000 people have been injured during the 4-day bombing campaign, and at least 60% of those were women and children. To make matters worse, the diesel supplies used to run generators for hospitals is running out. The solar power plant shut down last Wednesday afternoon for want of fuel. Medical supplies and help is on the way to Israel, with hopes of healing on the other side. A cemetery worker in New Jersey is recovering after he fell into an open grave. This was the scene Tuesday at the Holy Cross Cemetery northeast of Trenton. A funeral service had just ended when the 47-year-old worker fell 6 feet down through an entire wooden board into the grave. When emergency crews arrived, they had first shore up the gravesite with trench panels, then used the rope system to pull the man out. The worker was taken to the hospital where he is being seen for treatment.
Evangels Activity Board put on yet another event to kick off the week of midterms. Cameron Lee has more on the story.
Evangels AB Club hosted what is most commonly known as the biggest event of the fall semester. The formal name for the event is Gift Card Bingo. The event hosted a little over 100 students who all gathered into the Evangel cafeteria, which looked a lot fancier than normal. The event had fun games, multiple gift card options to win, and breakfast was even served for dinner. While most people enjoyed wearing their PJs outside, AB President Elise Peter says her favorite part is more about the games.
My favorite activity, I really like the pillow ninja fight because it just puts like a really cozy twist on a really fun game.
But there's more to bingo night than just fun and games. AB member Tessa Rosentreter shares the heart behind bingo night.
The goal of bingo night is to just bring our Evangel community together to create an atmosphere of relaxation and just fun during midterms week. And with AB being the most hype group to put on events here at Evangel, it is obvious that Gift Card Bingo was a hype event that everyone showed up to. Reporting for Newswatch Today, I'm Cameron Lee.
As the registration period comes to a close, small businesses suffering from the effects of COVID-19 are encouraged to apply for business grants. The Greene County Commission received 257 applications from businesses requesting an ARPA grant and will distribute around $2.5 million. These businesses had to be licensed before March 1st, 2020 and have less than 100 employees. This round of federal grants aimed to relieve stress from small businesses and home-based businesses that have been negatively impacted by COVID-19. Following the review of applications, the County Commission will give final approval and distribute checks.
On Friday, October 6th, the Activities Board announced this year's theme for the upcoming variety show of Harvest Fest. Activities Board announced the theme at Spence Chapel with a comedic video put together by the AB marketing team. This year's theme is books, with the title Bookmark, The Plot Thickens. The theme is picked at the beginning of the year by the members of AB. This theme is then kept a secret until the big reveal in chapel. More on what is included in the theme is AB Director Elise Peter.
Whether that be fantasy books, comic strips, classic literature. So it's pretty broad, but it is narrow enough to where, like, oh, I can easily find a costume for it. So.
Harvest Fest will take place November 11th with doors opening at 6 p.m. Tickets are available for purchase on the EU Connect app at the door the day of the event. I'm really excited for the event. Sounds like it's going to be a fun time.
I know, I can't wait. Me and my friends are trying to figure out what costume we're going to pick to go with the theme. Up next, St. Louis launches a new fund for the needy.
And we'll have a special guest come to talk about all of the homecoming details. We'll hear more about that when we get back from this break.
When times get dark, we can't see the help that's all around us. Let 211 be your guiding light for mental health and other resources. Call 211 or visit 211.org.
You're not going to get it all right. Just make sure you nail the big stuff. Like making sure your kids are in the right seats for their age and size. Get it right at nhtsa.gov/the-right seat.
What a disaster.
You're a disaster.
This is a disaster.
You can't be ready for every little disaster, but you can prepare for a big one. Make an emergency plan today.
My biggest fear in the middle of my addiction was that I would never be able to get over it and that my kids wouldn't have a father. I started thinking, you know what? This isn't my story. For the longest time, fear held me back from ultimately being who I wanted to. I had to become a better man to be a better father. It's important to me that my kids are empowered and truly believe that if they can think it, they can do it.
When times get dark, we can't see the help that's all around us. Let 211 be your guiding light for help with food, healthcare, and other resources.
211, how can I help you?
Call 211 or visit 211.org. 211, get connected, get help.
You're not going to get it all right. Just make sure you nail the big stuff. Like making sure your kids are in the right seat for their age and size. Get it right at nhtsa.gov/the-right seat.
St. Louis launches a new program aiming to help low-income families. This program will provide qualifying families $500 monthly payments for 18 months. After the approval from the Board of Aldermen, the city will use $5 million in federal pandemic aid to support this new program. To be eligible, families must make 170% of the federal poverty line or less. Families will be able to apply between October 23rd and November 1st. After the applications come in, the city will start sending the money in December. This new program is expected to send money to roughly 540 St. Louis households. Cameron Lee is standing by with a special guest. Cameron?
Thank you, Lilia. Evangelist headed straight into homecoming week, and with us today to talk more about it is Alumni and Development Outreach Coordinator Stacy Capel. Thank you for joining us today, Stacy.
Thanks for having me, Cameron.
Of course. So the first thing I want to ask is, what is your title and what does that look like in taking part in a role of planning homecoming?
Well, like you said, I am the Alumni Development Outreach Coordinator, very wordy title, but what that means is it's my job to get alumni involved in everything going on at Evangel, whether that's through email blasts or social media blasts, letting them know what's going on campus. Another part of my role is planning the alumni events, whether it's Santa coming to Evangel, the alumni family picnic, but I can't think of a bigger alumni event than homecoming, which I am in charge of kind of helping our team figure out what events we want to do and how to make it as successful as possible.
Awesome. So what all goes into planning an event like homecoming?
Good question. A lot. It doesn't happen overnight, that's for sure. It takes about, I feel like we started this about 5 months ago with a small team of crucial people on campus, and we talked about homecoming last year. What went good? What can we change? How can we make it better? So then we kind of established what events or how we want to see homecoming unravel this year. And then we go to a broader committee. So we get lots of people involved. We get Christy and her ESGA team involved to do a lot of student activities. We've got to make sure marketing's on board, our AV team, event management team. So there's a lot of moving parts, and we all come together to try to plan individual events, but there's a lot of events that take place in homecoming. So it's a lot of planning, and it's a lot of fun.
Yeah, it sounds exciting.
It is.
Well, of all of the things that you've planned and the things coming into play for homecoming, what do you think your favorite part is?
My favorite part? Oh, I'm kind of in a sweet spot right now. We're a week out from homecoming. So I feel like we've done a really good job. We've got, we're just shoring up the final details, but it's more of the anticipation right now of the events that we have planned. But honestly, my favorite part is probably going to be homecoming itself. I've had a lot of conversations with alumni. I've had to help get a lot of them registered for homecoming. So just seeing, putting a face to the name and seeing them on campus, the energy on campus in homecoming is just crazy big. And seeing how much they enjoy being back on campus, hearing their stories about how much it's changed. Oh, this looks different, that looks different. Remember when we did this? Remember when we ran on top of the Ashcroft, or I know you're not supposed to do that. But it's really fun having those conversations and seeing them reconnect with the campus and see all that God is doing.
Yeah, you're right. That is super cool to see them get to come back and enjoy that. Yeah. Okay, so I know that homecoming is a lot of different things in a lot of different places, but when and where is the main part of homecoming happening, and who all should come?
So homecoming is, like I said, next week. It's mainly Friday and Saturday, October 20th and 21st. And I'm glad you asked who should come. It's not just for alumni. There are Christy and her team, Christy Rowden and her team, ESGA Activities Board, they've been planning several events specifically for students. So those start on Thursday night at the bonfire right outside Perkins, and the new alumni, or the new intramural field. And then on Friday, they have the county fair, which that's a great time. We have a mechanical bull coming, we have inflatables, we have a real horse coming to campus, really yummy food, everything out on the quad for the students and alumni and their families to enjoy. And then she always does a great job. They do a great job at Pep Rally. It's full of energy, full of fun, full of games. So that's the student aspect. And then alumni, yes, we want the alumni to come in. We have alumni coming from as far as Washington State. So we have several events planned for them. I know a really big event this year is the class of 1973. It's their 50th reunion. They have over 70 people coming back from their class. Can you imagine 50 years? I know that's hard to imagine for students right now. But they have several events planned during the homecoming festivities. And then really good chances for our alumni to gather are going to be our Alumni Connection. It used to be called the Gab Fest, and it's just a time in the dining hall to gather, eat some yummy food, and just see old friends, talk about their old days at EU or EC for some of them. And then our Alumni Breakfast is another really good opportunity for our alumni to get together and share a meal.
That's awesome. Well, thank you so much for joining us today, Stacy.
Yeah.
It's so great to learn more about all that goes into homecoming. Let's go back to the desk with Lilia and Aubrey.
Thanks, Cameron. So Aubrey, what's the weather look like for the rest of this week?
It's definitely cooling down, so we can look like we'll have some sunny days ahead, but after that, I'll be back with more fall weather after this break. Thanks.
Severe weather can strike anytime, anywhere, but there's a simple way to stay safe. Hey, Jim Cantore here. I stay safe in dangerous weather by planning ahead. You can stay safe too with a few easy steps. Build an inexpensive kit with supplies for your family's needs. Write down important information like phone numbers and medications. Always talk with your family and remember any pets in your planning. Be ready, be safe. Start your plan today at ready.gov/plan.
Hey Bobo, do trees tell each other stories?
I'm sorry, I'm afraid I don't know that.
Hey, why don't we go find out? Listen.
Do clouds take naps?
I couldn't tell you.
Dad, do stars visit their friends?
Look!
When times get dark, we can't see the help that's all around us. Let 211 be your guiding light for help with food, healthcare, and other resources.
211, how can I help you?
Call 211 or visit 211.org. 211, get connected, get help.
I want to eat apples and bananas. I need to eat apples and bananas. Why can't I eat apples and bananas?
Support the Feeding America nationwide network of food banks to help provide meals to those in need. Join us at feedingamerica.org.
Leaving hot coals improperly extinguished can cause a wildfire.
Hey guys, it's Smokey!
It looks as if Smokey is going to use the drown, stir, drown, and feel technique. After the first drown, a good start. Next, another drink. And finally, a close feel.
Is it cool? Okay.
Yeah.
Hey, Smokey, catch! Oh, my bad, Smokey.
Only you can prevent wildfires.
Here you go.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Branson, Bolivar, Carl Junction, Logan Rogersville, Marshfield, and West Plains are part of the 6 schools that will compete in the newly formed Ozark Mountain Conference beginning in the 2024-2025 school year. The Ozark Mountain Conference brings together districts that are similar in enrollment numbers, as well as shared values and community beliefs. This latest change is part of a decades-long reshuffling of various conferences that started because of the enrollment increases for some schools that left them in a much larger classification than other schools in the same conference. It's kind of cool to think that the high schools like move around people in conferences based on not only how many students are in the school, but also the belief system of the community.
Yeah, I think when we respect the beliefs of a community, it'll just make the athletes more passionate about their sports and more dedicated.
I agree. Preston, what else is going on in the world of sports this week?
Cameron, we got so much to catch up on, so let's hop to it. The Minnesota Vikings have placed All-Pro wide receiver Justin Jefferson on the injured reserve. Jefferson suffered a hamstring injury during a loss against Kansas City on Sunday. Vikings head coach Kevin O'Connell is optimistic that their star-studded receiver will make a return later this season. Could we see Jay Jettis take off once again? We'll see. Game 3 of the NLDS was a crucial turning point in the series for both Philly and Atlanta. Bryce Harper saw the opportunity and said no more. Harper opened the 3rd inning with a 3-run shot to deep right field. He then added a second homer to his resume in the 6th inning. Bryce Harper was not the only contributor to the 10-2 victory. Castellanos clubbed a solo home run, and Realmuto doubled in 2 runs. Every NFL season embarks with some type of debate, but this season, it's a little more down to earth. With a vast increase in injuries through 5 weeks of play, the NFL Association players are calling all teams to convert to grass rather than artificial turf. Many agree that Jets quarterback Aaron Rodgers would not have suffered a torn Achilles if playing on grass. Another claim the NFLPA chairman stated is that all stadiums are converting to grass for the 2026 World Cup, but organizations pose to care less for NFL players. On Wednesday, the Valor women's soccer team faced nationally ranked Oklahoma Wesleyan. After a hard-fought 90-minute battle, the Valor fell, only conceding 1 goal to the Eagles. Goalkeepers Chloe Hancock and Riley Clapp combined for 18 saves. Okwu, in the 22nd minute, scored their only goal. The Valor's next match is Saturday at McPherson College. That's all for today. Back to you guys at the desk.
Thanks, Preston. You know, I know there was a lot of injuries in those stories, but thankfully none of them were Chiefs players. I know Travis almost got hurt, but it looks like he's going to bounce back from it.
Exactly. We love to see safety on the teams.
Yeah.
When we get back, schools change their approach to Halloween.
And Aubrey is with us for one final look at the forecast. All this when we return.
When times get dark, we can't see the help that's all around us. Let 211 be your guiding light for help with food, healthcare, and other resources.
211, how can I help you?
Call 211 or visit 211.org. 211, get connected, get help.
You're not going to get it all right. Just make sure you nail the big stuff, like making sure your kids are in the right seat for their age and size. Get it right at nhtsa.gov/the-right seat.
There is a road laid out for me.
First night here, but Amy seems cool.
Leading down to the river. I am blind, but I need not see.
What do you think?
I know this road is there for me. If I'm really free, take me down to the river and walk.
As students face stress from midterm exams, the residents of Spence Hall host a Smarty Party for students. This party took place last night in the first floor lobby of Spence. The goal of this event was to provide students with a time to rest and recuperate before finishing their exams. Students were able to connect with one another, enjoy candy, and participate in group activities. After a time of relaxation and friendship with others, students can feel more equipped to continue studying and preparing for their exams. Well, fall weather has got to be getting closer.
Hopefully, I am just praying for the cold at this point. What can you tell us about that, Aubrey?
I think your prayers are going to be answered. We definitely have some cooler weather coming in. Let's take a look at it. So our current conditions, sunny, 57, and the humidity is down to 81%. So it's nice, cool, and it's definitely a good time to be outside. We can see later today it's going to be mostly sunny with a high of 78 degrees, and humidity is going to stay about the same, around that 81% range. Now for today's almanac, we have today's temp of a low of 57 and a high of 78, with our record temperatures actually reaching from 27 to 88. So I'm really glad it's definitely starting to even out. And then our visibility is around 10 miles. and our sunset is at 6:40 p.m. For today's satellite, we can see some weather coming in, nice cool front. We have this hot weather being pushed up north, and then our cool weather being pushed down close to where we are in Missouri. So we can definitely expect maybe a little bit of rain in the next day, some wind, and then cooler weathers as it averages out. Now let's take a look at our radar. For our radar, we can see some of that warmer weather down south here, but then close to where we are in Missouri, we can see this cool front coming in and pushing its way east. So we can see further east, more cool weather has already arrived, but then coming down from the north, it's definitely going to make it a little bit cooler in these next few days. So coming from Wyoming, Nebraska, Iowa area, and it's gonna come right on down here to Missouri. So be prepared for more 50s, 60s, some rain, some wind, and some more weather coming. For our Missouri temperatures, we can see it is pretty even across the board. We have a nice 59 here in Columbia, 58, 56, and then down in Springfield, we are at a nice even 57 degrees. So a really nice cool fall weather, definitely a good break from these last few weeks that has been a little bit hotter. For our national forecast, we can see some of that rain coming in, some of that cooler weather, and the mixed precipitations that are coming, and definitely maybe some severe thunderstorms possible as they move further towards us in Springfield. For our 6-day forecast, you can see a few of the scattered thunderstorms and the mostly sunny weathers, but we do have averages of high 50s coming, with the highest temperature this week being 70 degrees. So definitely that cooler weather coming. This is Weather Watch. I'm Aubrey. Back to you guys.
Thanks, Aubrey. You know, I have been praying for the cold weather, so I'm thankful that it's finally showing up.
Yes, we've been advocating for it every week, and I could not be more happy that we finally have some balanced, cool weather.
Me too.
When we return, one final look at weather.
This and more when we get back.
Severe weather can strike anytime, anywhere, but there's a simple way to stay safe. Hey, Jim Cantori here. I stay safe in dangerous weather by planning ahead. You can stay safe too with a few easy steps. Build an inexpensive kit with supplies for your family's needs. Write down important information like phone numbers and medications. Always talk with your family, and remember any pets in your planning. Be ready, be safe. Start your plan today at ready.gov/plan.
Hey, Bobo, do trees tell each other stories?
I'm sorry. I'm afraid I don't know that.
Hey, why don't we go find out? Listen.
Do clouds take naps?
I couldn't tell you.
Dad, do stars visit their friends?
Look!
When times get dark, we can't see the help that's all around us. Let 211 be your guiding light for help with food, healthcare, and other resources.
211, how can I help you?
Call 211 or visit 211.org. 211, get connected, get help.
I want to eat apples and bananas. I need to eat apples and bananas. Why can't I eat apples and bananas?
Support the Feeding America nationwide network of food banks to help provide meals to those in need. Join us at feedingamerica.org.
An elementary school in Iowa is switching from its usual Halloween-themed events to a more fall-themed approach. A newsletter sent to parents say that these are students who don't celebrate Halloween due to religious or cultural reasons. The note goes on to say, as a result, some students don't show up to school that day. The superintendent says staff made the decision also for reasons beyond religion, and that the choice is ultimately for the best interest of the students. Those other reasons include lost time in the classroom, families being unable to afford costumes, and some students simply not celebrating. You know, honestly, I get the whole not being able to afford costumes, but don't take away the fun of Halloween. I feel like I look forward to it every year, even as an adult, to dress up at least a little bit.
Yeah, as a kid, I love dressing up as like a princess and getting some candy.
Yes.
Aubrey, do you have any final words on next week's weather?
Thanks, guys. I also love dressing up for Halloween, but let's see if it'll be cool enough to depend on what costume we're gonna wear. So for our forecast this week, we can see those highs barely reach highs of 60s. So we're mostly in the highs 50s, and then our lows go as low as 39, but not quite enough for any frost. So not too chilly, but enough to finally call fall official. We are going to have a few scattered thunderstorms on both ends of the week with a little bit of wind, but mostly it's going to be just partly cloudy, partly sunny throughout the week. Back to you guys.
Thanks, Aubrey. That's all for us today. I'm Cameron Lee.
And I'm Lilia Parks. This has been Newswatch Today. Please join us next week, and for more on EU TV and the latest Evangel news, go to euvalormedia.com.